Recently, MailerPress 1.2 was released, and some of the key things included in that are the ability now to use these with some of our key page builders, specifically Bricks and Elementor. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can start to use those, some of the options available, how we integrate various different aspects, and give you a kind of overview for how this works. Now, even though I've taken a look in a previous video how we can use a tool like Flowmatic or Bitflows to connect up MailerPress with various other tools, it's always good to have official integrations. And as you can see, Elementor and Bricks are now officially supported. So let's jump into Bricks and see how everything works, and then I'll give you a quick comparison to Elementor towards the end of the video. So I've jumped into a new page in Bricks. I've already set up a section of a container. So let's come over to our elements and search for MailerPress, and as you can see, there's MailerPress opt-in. Add that in. There's our opt-in block. We'll select it. And let's take a look at the options now. If we come into content, you can see we've got things broken down to very simple logical setup. If you've ever used the forms inside Bricks, you'll know how a lot of this works. It's very, very similar. First of all, we've got the form fields. As you can see, it automatically inserts the email field. If we expand this, you can see all the things you would expect inside here from a typical form. The field type, the label, name, and so on. So the email is fine, but we want to put this sort of first name as well so we can kind of personalize our email. So let's add a new item. We'll change this over. And as you can see, we support various different field types, text, text area, and so on. We're going to choose text for this example, change this over to first name, the field name itself. We'll use name inside here. I'm going to keep everything lowercase here because the field name is what we use to map things later on. So to avoid confusion, everything will be lowercase for this. Do you want to set this to be required? What placeholder do you want? So say enter your first name, everything you're kind of used to seeing here. That really is all that we need to do inside the form field section. If we come to the MailerPress settings, this is where we can configure how it connects to MailerPress and how we set things up. So the MailerPress list, so if we open this up, you can see default list is the only list I currently have. This is your kind of normal list that you have that'll have your subscribers. You can have multiple lists. I like to keep everything in one simple list. So we'll choose that from the list. Then we've got the MailerPress tags. Now, tags are a great way of being able to segment the content or the actual subscribers inside your lists. So for this example, we're going to say this is a general subscriber, so a general sign-up form. Do you want double opt-in? I would generally recommend yes, you do, but you can obviously choose no if you don't want to in this example. That just means they're going to get an email asking them to confirm their subscription to this particular mailing list. Your opt-in source, you can pop inside here where they've actually come from. Great for tracking the different signups. You may have different signups as part of your overall site. Pop-ups, for example, may be embedded into the right-hand side of a blog post. You get the idea. So we're going to say inside here, we'll just pop in website as a general catch-all. Field mapping. Now, this is where we map the fields inside our form to the fields inside MailerPress itself. All we need to do is click add an item. So the form field name, this is the name we've used inside the form fields here. So for example, we've got email and we have name. You'll see now why I say keep them lowercase. It just makes it a little easier. So come to our field mapping. First item is going to be email. Pop the name of that field in. What MailerPress field do we want to map it to? Open this up. There's your email field in MailerPress itself. So that's the first one. Add another item. This time, this is going to be name. And we'll change this over to first name. And we've done all the mapping. Obviously, if you want to add more things inside here, you absolutely can do. You've got custom field mapping. So if you're using custom fields inside MailerPress, we can map those as well. We'll come back to that in a moment. Then we've got our form settings. So we'll set this to the number of columns we want. In this example, 2 looks a little nicer. There we go. The submit button, subscribe, is perfectly fine. Success message and an error message. And do you want to enable a redirect after success? So if you enable this option, you can choose what page you want to redirect them to and how long in milliseconds the delay is between the form submission and being successful to become actually sent over to that new page. Always nice to have something like this because you may have a welcome sort of thing on there. You may have a video. You can have all manner of different things. For ease, I'm going to disable that so we keep it super simple inside here. So that is the basics of our form. We've got their email and we've got their first name. So basically all you really need to capture. However, I've also created a custom field inside MailerPress and we've got this for their company name. We may want to sort of have this as a business subscription. So we want to grab that detail as well. So what we're going to do is going to come back to form fields and inside here, we're going to add another field in. This time we're going to change this over again to text. Set the label, we'll say company, the form field, company all lowercase, Say enter your company, and we'll set this to be not required. So it's up to them if they want to include it. So now we need to go and map that again. But this time we don't choose the field mapping, we choose the custom fields mapping. These are the custom fields we create inside MailerPress. So let's add an item, form field name, company, all lowercase, and the custom field we're going to map it to, company name. Simple as that. Couldn't get easier. So now we've got an extra field inside there that's connected up to our custom fields inside MailerPress. So all we need to do now, click on save, and we've created our form. So we can go and test that out. There's our subscription form with a little bit of styling added to it. Let's add something inside here. There we go. We fill out our details, hit subscribe now. Thank you for subscribing. That's now added them in. If we go double opt-in, they'll need to confirm. So they'll be set as pending. So we come to our audience section. You can see there's our new one. No at email, Paul C, pending, and the opt-in source was website. And then obviously we can come in and we can view more information about them should we want to. So that's how easy it is to set them up, to tag them, to do all the things that we need to do, all set up for us. So let's take a look now at how this is set up inside Elementor and how it's pretty much the same. So if you're an Elementor user, you can pretty much set things up exactly the same way. So instead of you having to sit through and watch me do the exact same thing again, let me just show you the options inside here and how you see they're pretty much exactly the same. So I've already added in the MailerPress form. We've popped in their email and their first name. I haven't set up a custom field inside here, so the process is still the same. So your form fields operate exactly the same. There's your field type. Again, you can see all the same field types are inside here. The label, the field name, where it's required, and the placeholder. Same thing for the name. Your MailerPress settings, again, all the same options. What list, any tags. So you can see we'll set these to be, for example, general subscriber, double opt-in, yes or no, opt-in source, your field mapping. So you can see email, contact first name, all set up, configured exactly the same. Custom field mapping would work the same way. And finally, the form settings, the number of columns, the button text, and so on and so forth. So everything is exactly the same, whether you're using Elementor or you're using Bricks Builder. So now we have native integration and support, so we can get people to subscribe, we can tag them, we can add them to relevant lists, add them and connect up to custom fields inside MailerPress itself, and then start sending emails out to them. This is a great addition to MailerPress, and hopefully you found this useful. If you want to learn more about MailerPress, you can check out this video, link and details in the description down below. Grab it if you want to, test out the free version if you want to try before you buy. All those details are in the description as well. As always, my name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.